What is going on, members of the Shy Guys squad and MPL fans alike? My name is Dan, otherwise known as Danekii, and I am your head coach of the St. Louis Sableyes in Season 3 of the MPL. We're currently coming off of two very rough losses against the Baltimore Frogadiers and the Detroit Lipards. And this week we are preparing ourselves for the Blackthron Frogadiers, coached by Ioku and Bliss. Ioku Bliss, yes, I got everything down there. It's not looking good for this season. We've not been playing well, and to be blunt, I wouldn't be surprised if we go, well, I won't say 0-12 because that's a little bit too harsh, but somewhere we're gonna have a low record this season. That's at least what I'm feeling. But we have prepped a squad here today. I'm gonna start doing team builders from this week on. I've not had the battle yet, so I don't quite. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna go, but we're gonna quickly go over the team real quick. First up here we have NASCAR Bug, the Scalipede, which we did in fact pick up for free agent. We dropped Gothitelle because, well, judge me all you want, but I don't know how to use Gothitelle. I'm sorry, guys, and I decided with that I would drop it. I feel like I messed up here, but I've already gen my team, so too late to fix it. We have Scalipede here. Earthquake, Rock Slide, Poison Jab, and Mega Horn. No Protect. Expert Belt because it really hits Bliss's team hard. His draft should have been on the screen earlier. I just kind of didn't pick it up, but it should be on the screen. But in case you guys are wondering, Bliss has an Azumarill. He has Dragonite. He has Megazord X. Klefki, Starmie, Conkeldurr, Tangrowth, Mismagius, Weezing, Electivire, and Claydol. And with this moveset, I think I hit 8 out of his 11 Pokemon with it. Some people got 11 due to point spending and stuff, and I finished off with 10. But that is his draft. Also Dragonite, Klefki, Charex, Starmie, Conk, Tangrowth, Mismagius, Weezing, Electivire, and Claydol. And I made a jolly Scalipede, because I don't know, I've been watching Monotui a lot and he says Scalipede, not Scolipede, so Scalipede has kind of grown on me. But yeah, so out of his 11, I expect him to bring Charex, Klefki, Azu, Claydol, Weezing, and Conkeldurr. This is a rough prediction. I would not be surprised if he brings the Electivire to wall out my Jolteon so I can freely Volt Switch, and Thunderbolt in course, and then he will get faster, and that can be a problem in my team. I will also not be surprised if he brings the Mismagius, because Ghost, and it can also hit my Latios for decent damage, and it can hit a lot of my things pretty hard. But despite that, we have brought NASCAR Bug the NASCAR Bug Scalipede with the speed boost ability, you know, just for the things, but I want to outspeed things on the first part. I'm gonna double check something because I feel like, yeah, okay. So Scalipede here outspeeds Mismagius by 1 point, and we have Earthquake, Rock Slide, Poison Jab, and Mega Horn. Now the leftovers are in the HP with a 44, which makes it an odd number HP stat, and then we have the leftover 8 spread across defense and SPDF because 8 stat EV, like 8 EVs, do nothing for level 50s, and then we have max attack just to hit as hard as possible and put stuff in ranges and assure KO sometimes. Like we do 69 to 81 against Charizard. With Earthquake we do 76 to 91 against Klefki. We do 80 to 96 against the defensive Azu. Speaking of the Assault Vest variant with the 240 HP set. Mega Horn flat out takes out the Claydol. We can't really touch Weezing, but that's something Scalipede isn't capable of doing. And we also can do 28 to 34% to the Conkeldurr, as well as hitting Electivire as a flat out Oko. And we also can take out the Starmie with the Mega Horn at +1 speed, of course. And Tangrowth really doesn't appreciate Poison Jab either. So that is that. And if we break the multi-scale on Dragonite, then Rock Slide does a shit ton of damage to it. I don't have the calc in my head, but I have prep for it. Now next up, I want to break that multi-scale, and I also want to force stuff to do things, and we have Registeel. Registeel here has Stealth Rock, Thunder Wave, Iron Head, and Earthquake. It has max HP with a little bit of mixed defenses to be able to take special hits as well, because I know he's going to bring some special attackers, and I want to be able to take some hits on that side too. And I have Stealth Rock and Thunder Wave to, well, stack hazards and generally slow things down. Iron Head for stab, as well as, like, it's my best move to hit a couple of his things. Like, it hits Azu, it hits Klefki pretty well, as well as Earthquake, and generally it was just the best move I could go for against this team. Of course I could have gone like Rock Slide and stuff, but that would have prevented me from being able to hit other things. So I decided to go for Iron Head and EQ. EQ hits Charex, it hits Klefki, it does hit Electivire, it hits a couple of his mons, and Registeel is not here to dish out the damage, he's here to take the hits, but not to get sacked off, because I don't have a counter except for Registeel. I need to stop doing that. I've done it twice now. Well, I didn't really do it against Blake, but it got Scald crit burned and then it died. Not that it mattered, because I would have just been picked off next turn. I couldn't kill Klefki or Klefki. I mean, I can't kill Klefki with this thing, but I wouldn't have been able to kill the Manaphy with Registeel anyways, or put it in range of Greninja's Scald. Against Cypher, that was just dumb of me to sack off my Registeel to a Gramble, when realistically it was the only check I had to his Kieran Black. And this week it is a check to a couple of his Pokemon. It's like the only thing that can really well deal with the likes of Azumarill. It can, it is one of the few walls that actually can take a good, well, it's one of the few months that can actually take a good hit from Conkeldurr, and it can also live Flare Blitz from Charizard. So, as well as, you know, Electivire, I can take hits from that, I can retaliate with Earthquake, so it's very important for me to keep Registeel alive, and well, at least until it's ready and has done its job. The next mon I have is Jolteon. Raikage the Jolteon has enough speed to outspeed a max speed Starmie. I have Volt Switch, HP Ground, Thunderbolt, and Shadow Ball. Volt Switch for Momentum. Hidden Power Ground is to hit the likes of Charizard, of Klefki, as well as if he decides to bring Electivire, then I can hit it with something when I expect it to switch in, because he's expecting a Volt Switch or something. So instead of taking the Volt Switch damage, I will, or giving him the Motor Drive, I will do damage to him, and then I can manually switch afterwards. So that is why I have HP Ground. I also have Thunderbolt for stronger stab, and Shadow Ball to be able to hit Claydol, because Claydol is immune to 3 of my attacks, so I can only hit it with Shadow Ball, and that does the most damage. It does about half or so, if I remember correctly. It also hits Miss Magius for super effective damage, and Starmie, of course, but I will Thunderbolt that thing. Now I know I can't hit Dragonite with this, but I have a couple other Pokemon that can deal with Dragonite fairly well. So I decided against running HP Ice, because I figured that to Jolteon, a bigger threat would be the Electivire. So next up is Bianca. Bianca the Megalodios is back for the 3rd week in a row. Hopefully we're not going to screw it up again, because, well, we really just haven't been able to complement our team enough, as I feel like Scolipede is going to be able to do that, because our team is not just U-turn, U-turn, U-turn anymore. I have I have a couple of resistances. I have, and of course I'm not getting beat to a pummel by a Fairy type just by team matchup, like team preview, because I have Registeel and Scolipede now. Latios this week is running Dragon Pulse, which of course is for the likes of the Charizard X and the Dragonite after like the Rock, after the multi-scale is broken. And then we also have General Stab that hits his team very hard. We have Thunderbolt to hit the Starmie. It also hits the, well, it's mainly to hit the Starmie. Could have ran Shadow Ball. Once again, Thunderbolt just did a lot of damage, like generally, naturally to his team. And Recover, which I actually changed last minute just for, you know, thumbnail material, which I changed to Roost, in case, you know, like I have to Recover, and Roost just looks more appealing to me, so there's that. And then I also had, Psychic, because Psychic, more stab, it hits Weezing hard, it hits Tangrowth hard, it hits Conkeldurr really hard. Well, it hits Tangrowth hard because its Spidef isn't the best. It also hits Electivire pretty decently, and Psyshock would have been a better option for that Pokemon. But it hits his team pretty decently, and Psychic is just generally good stab. So that is why I built Latias like I did. It has 220 speed to outspeed a max speed Miss Magius, and then I have max special attack, and I decided to go with 36 HP. Even I don't know, I decided with that this time, so there we go. I don't know. That was just a misbuild on my part, and I didn't notice it until it was genned, and I'm not gonna ask someone to regen it for me to make it like this, because now I have an even number HP, but the only thing that's gonna possibly affect me is the status and Stealth Rocks, because I know he can get them up. But yeah, so that is gonna be Latias, and then we have Meliodas, which has another name because I asked a specific person to gen it, and so it's going to be named something else. It has enough speed, of course, once again, to outspeed a max speed Starmie with Knockoff, Poison Jab, Icicle Crash, and Ice Shard. Knockoff is, you know, knockoff. It knocks items off and does it very, very well. We have Poison Jab because Azu. Mainly Azu, that's literally the reason, because I'm scared of Azu on his team. And Weavile can hit that thing really, 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 really hard, and that I am very okay with. So Poison Jab is there to hit that thing very hard and potentially KO it if it's a specific set of Azu that isn't like a lot of HP invested, because I cannot take it out naturally, but I can also set it up to be taken out later in the game. So that is going to be why I have Poison Jab. Then we have Icicle Crash, which once again is just good stab that hits the Charizard really hard. It hits the Clay Doll, it hits Weezing for like the most amount of damage, it hits like Conk for most amount of damage, it hits the Tangrowth pretty hard, it hits Dragonite, it hits the Miss Magius even though we have knockoff too, it hits the Electivire, like it hits everything pretty hard. There is the chance of missing, which, I mean, that's Icicle Crash, it would be broken if it couldn't. Well, it really wouldn't, it's only base 85 power, but the fact still stands. So that is why we have brought Weavile this week. It's basically our hard hitter. We just have to watch out for Conkeldurr and its Muck Punches. That is like the big scare that we have. And then last on we have Courtney. We're trying Cupcake again, we're trying the Cupcake. And it has Belly Drum to set up, you know, to sweep. And with 64 attack, I don't need more if I get off the Belly Drum. Psychic is to hit his one check to my Belly Drum Azu, which is his Weezing. Psychic from Slurpuff does 59 to 69% of his Weezing, which is a bunch of damage. If he thinks he can switch in, I can go for the Psychic. He will take a lot of damage, and I can follow it up and KO it. And then his biggest like check to this is gone. So that is very nice. I also have Play Rough for stab, and it hits his team really freaking hard, and Drain Punch, which is for recovery. And it also hits a couple of his Pokemon pretty hard, which involves around his resistances to Play Rough being, or, well, yeah, which, like, for example, lies in the likes of Klefki, which at the moment, like, if I'm just natural, Drain Punch does 20% max. But if I go into the +6 area, I do 80% to it, so that's another, like, scare, of course, because if I'm a +6, his Foul Play doesn't, well, his Foul Play doesn't do much either, so that's fine. And I mean, generally I can just 1v1 his Klefki. He can paralyze me, but I'm still I think -2, because a para is -4 or something like that. But yeah, so that is the team. I have enough to deal with Weezing. Play +6 setup, and the speed is to outspeed a Dragon Danced Charizard once the Unburden pops. That is why I have 212 and 130, because as you guys know, by doing a basic math, 130 times 2 is 260, while 167, which is the Jolly Charizard, times 1.5 is 250. So I outspeed him by a little margin, and that just makes me feel a little bit more safe. So thank you guys so much for watching the team builder. The battle will go up tomorrow. I'll try to get it up around 4 my time, which is the equivalent of 10 AM Eastern Standard. Possibly 12. You guys can tell me that in comments if you want a 10 or 12. But let me know, and I'll talk to you guys once the battle comes out tomorrow. Peace.